Hi guys, it's Ellie and in today's video we are going to be talking about some books that are perfect for young adults. Note that just because these books are for young adults doesn't mean that if you're an adult you should not read it. Anyone of any age can read them if they are interested in this genre of young adult books. Obviously young adult is a very vast genre with subdivisions under it, and I have tried my best to recommend you all types of books that fall under this genre. So without any further ado, let's get started with today's video. The first book that I'll recommend is today's sponsored book recommendation, and it's Satomi by G.E.M. Thomas. This book is available for free on Kindle Unlimited. So all my Kindle Unlimited users, go run and grab this book right now and start reading it. So as you can guess from the name, the setting is sort of Japanese, and I am very interested in anything and everything Japanese. So this is a girl called Satomi who is working in an organization called Copet, and this is sort of a dystopian world with a mix of modern and medieval technologies, scientific technologies actually. There are these beings called lizard children who are harnessed or rather used to get electricity. Okay, that's really strange, and there's this organization called Copet which does this. But in a turn of events, these lizard children actually escape, and they are obviously extremely dangerous to the surroundings, and that is when Satomi comes to play. This story has a very badass female protagonist, so if you are interested in strong female characters and female characters being suppressed and then them realizing that they are meant for more, and yeah, the whole journey of it, the whole arc of it, if that is something that interests you, if books like Mockingjay or Ember in the Ashes are also some books that you've liked in the past, I think that you will enjoy Satomi a lot. I really like how the author has mixed a lot of things in one single book, and the writing style is also extremely simple. So even if you are just starting reading, I'm sure that you will understand what this book is saying and what this book is about. And the book is just about 100 pages long, so if you're short on time as well, this book is something that you can easily finish. So if you want to grab this book, the link to this book and all other books that I'm going to be talking about today in today's video. The next book that I'll recommend for young adults is The Diary of Anne Frank, or rather The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank. I always mess up this book's name. This book is also available on Storytel, so a link to a 30-day free trial of Storytel will be in the description below. You can get access to this and 1 lakh plus audiobooks on Storytel if you use my code storytel.com/Ellie. So yeah, make sure you make use of it while the offer lasts. Now regarding Anne Frank, the diary itself is so brilliant, and it's gonna make you cry definitely, and it's gonna make you wonder what amazing things this girl could have done in the future if only she was not a victim of war like that. So it's extremely poignant, and I think every child must be made to read this one book even if they don't read any other book in their lifetime. The next book that I'll recommend for young adults is How to Get What You Want and Want What You Need. I think young adults suffer a lot from wanting things and then not valuing them once they have it. So this book is not only going to teach you how to get the things you want, but also how to keep wanting them even after you've acquired them. I know that it's really common to lose your interest in things once you acquire them. In fact, that is human nature. But obviously that is not something we aspire for, right? There are so many things that I've wanted. Like for once there was this Calvin and Hobbes comics books set that I used to see in one of my relatives' house, and I was so smitten by it. For years I had yearned for it, and then finally I laid my hands on it, and now I hardly read it. So that pretty much shows how things you have wanted for years, once you have them, you don't really value them as much. So yeah, basically that is something that I am struggling to cope up with, and I think all young adults can relate, and maybe adults too. The next book that I'll recommend for young adults is Megha Rao's Music to Flame Lilies. Megha Rao is one of my favorite writers. I love her poems specifically, but this is actually a novel. It's about a girl who gets a message one day from a friend who is actually dead. So she goes to her village, and the village is one of the quaintest, is that even a word, villages ever. They believe in ghosts, spirits, and all sorts of magical things. Anything magic, I will sign up for it, and it's Megha Rao. I have been following Megha Rao for so long, and in this copy she has actually written stuff for me, and this is a copy that I'm going to carry with me till my death. And yeah, I loved this book. The next book that I'll suggest is this book. This is a graphic novel called The Arrival by Sean Tan. This is a wordless graphic novel, and you have to read this to feel the feelings of alienation and responsibilities that are actually lying ahead of you. This is one of the top 10 graphic novels that I've ever read, and definitely the top one most underrated graphic novel in the entire world. The next book that I'll recommend is this book called The Gun by Fuminori Nakamura. If you watch my videos, I have been talking about this book in almost every video of mine, but trust me, this book is so good. If you're interested in crime, thriller genre, you are going to love this book, and yeah, give it a go. Next book that I want you to read as young adults is The Free Voice by Ravish Kumar. I think your voice, your ability to voice out your opinion, freedom of speech is extremely important, and this book not only deals with that but also a lot of aspects of democracy which you should be knowing if you're a citizen of India or otherwise. The next book that I'll recommend for young adults is Kami Garcia's Raven. If you're interested in Marvel or DC Universe, you're gonna love Raven. This is a story about a very amazing girl whose name is obviously Raven, and the strange things that happens around her. She obviously has superpowers, and this book was extremely interesting to read. And yeah, this is definitely one of the top 5 graphic novels that I've read, and I think I'll place it somewhere around 5 because my favorite graphic novel of all time is definitely Persepolis. Next, I'll recommend An Ember in the Ashes series, which is one of my favorite books. Okay, this is the book, sorry. This is the book An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir. This book has 3 protagonists, Helena, Laia and Ilyas. There's sort of a love triangle between them, and honestly, with the Laia is the primary protagonist, I root for Helena more. The first 2 books are brilliant, the third book is not at par, and the 4th book, which will be the last installment in the series, is not out yet. So I can't say how good is that, but obviously I hope that the ending is nice and Helena ends up with Ilyas. Let me know if you are also shipping these two. And the next book that I'll recommend for young adults is City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. Honestly, I've forgotten the details about this book because I read it a long time back, but I remember it made me feel so good. The protagonists were very well built, and for some reason I did not read the next books. I guess I was just out of money to buy the other books. But yeah, I would highly suggest this series to you as well if you are a fan of books like Harry Potter or An Ember in the Ashes. Finally, in this same go, I will be recommending this book, Mockingjay of the Hunger Games series. I don't have the other books as physical copies with me. All these books are actually available on Storytel, so you can just go and check them out on Storytel if you don't have money, because I've seen that most of the times young adult fantasy books are extremely costly. The next book that I think all young adults must read is Abhishek Kumar's Master Your Money, Master Your Life. This is definitely one of the top 3 books that I've read about personal finance, and sadly this is not as popular as books like Rich Dad Poor Dad, but I hope that one day this will be, because it's really good. I think as young adults you should be taking care of your finances the most of all, because that is going to determine your future to a great extent. So you need to know how to handle money. No matter what you make, you need to be able to manage it well, and yeah, this book is going to teach you how to do that. This is going to teach you everything from savings to investments to retirement, and I think yeah, that is going to be very helpful in the long run. All the books that I recommended so far are pretty easy to read, except this book called The Shadow Lines by Amitav Ghosh. But I think that youngsters should be reading this book to understand the effects of partition, the effects of colonialism, the Western view of East. I absolutely loved this book. This was very difficult to read, I won't lie. But once I was done reading this, this is definitely one of my most favorite books ever. And I don't regret struggling with this book for years, because yeah, it's worth it. If you're looking for poetry recommendations, I think all youngsters will love Poetry by Langleaf, one of my favorite poets, and her husband is also a poet, but I don't like his poems as much. His name is Michael Fordett. I do think that Langleaf is definitely the best poet of our century, and yeah, please don't kill me for thinking that, because some people don't like it, but okay, that's me, that's just me, guys. Last but not the least, I would ask you to figure out what your purpose in life is. It is your job in this world to figure out what you have come into this world for and then follow that path. This was something that Oprah Winfrey said. I am not quoting word to word, but the book that she has written is called The Path Made Clear. You can also read this book if you don't want to read Ikigai, which is the most commonly referred to book if we are talking about finding your passion, finding out what you were born for, finding what you love to do. But yeah, both these books are very good, and yeah, I think both of them will be able to guide you towards your future and also teach you what you were born for and how to love and keep doing what you were born for. So yeah guys, these are all the recommendations that I have for you young adults. I hope that you liked it. All the links to all the books are in the description below, so make sure you check it out. Make sure you buy from the links in the description below because that helps me a lot in keeping posting content on my channel. And yeah, I'll be back with another video next week. Till then, bye bye.